up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. New year, new me, no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win.
Welcome back, fellow warriors, to the stage of history. My name is Cosmo Jazz, and we are back with the goated channel that is The Rubber. A little thing before we start. Thank you guys so much for joining me on these. We are 11 away from 200 subscribers, which I feel is going to be a very monumental one for me, because that really means the world to me that almost 200 people have subscribed and possibly coming back to this goofy person right here. As of now, as always, we are trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think we're making a pretty good pace so far. So thank you guys for that. Once again, if you have any suggestions for any reactions, do not hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. I am very open to a lot of things, and there are actually going to be a couple things I'm going to be checking out very soon. They're going to be kind of different for me. We're going to see how that happens and how everything goes with that. But without further ado, let's get into SCP-3121. Get out of my head. And go.
Viewer discretion is advised. The husband and wife goblins lived a peaceful life.
I was not expecting goblins.
They look different than the humans and much, much smaller, but as long as they stay out of their way, life was fine. They spent their days far away from the humans, living in a cozy stick hut in the woods, collecting berries and fruits and sometimes worm larvae. Until one day, a group of men in black uniform came to the woods, bearing scary-looking equipment. The wife spotted the group of men while she was out collecting berries. She decided to follow them, hiding from bush to bush. Though she couldn't understand anything they were saying, she could feel that they were determined, tense, and nervous. It soon became clear that the men were looking for their hut, as they stopped suddenly, facing their home. Her husband was in danger, she realized, and surely enough, the men were shouting commands down the hut, and then grabbed him. He struggled.
Why is he so small?
She couldn't do anything there but to watch them carry him away in a box. I swear, I'll find you and save you from these monsters, my love. Hello, everybody. I'm the Rubber. Today,
what
we
is
bring
happening?
SCP
Cheater.
Heater class object,
oh no.
SCP-3121. SCP-3121, also known as Get Out of My Head, consists of two entities designated as SCP-3121-A and SCP-3121-B. SCP-3121-A and B are small, sapient humanoids measuring approximately 4 inches in height. The entities resemble imps or hobgoblins from European folklore. 3121-A is the male, and 3121-B is the female. The entities describe each other as husband and wife, and display a strong emotional attachment.
That explains why this came out yesterday.
The entities have human-level intelligence.
Yesterday was Valentine's Day, for those who don't know. Just for future reference.
They display high proficiency in tool-making and wilderness survival, which they use to practice a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Their diet consists mainly of berries and insects. 3121-A was originally found in the forest of Fontainebleau in northern France in May 2005, inhabiting a crudely constructed hut made from sticks. Materials found within suggest habitation for two entities. It is believed that its wife mentioned by 3121-A was near the site at the time of initial retrieval, but evaded capture without being seen by containment personnel. It was housed in a cage made specifically for it. The guards transferred the cage to the interrogation room, where it was observed closely by senior researcher Jacob Curry, who supervised the interview between 3121-A and Dr. Lena Reiterer, a Foundation linguist who was able to understand its language. When Dr. Reiterer entered the room, 3121-A ran to the corner of its cage and cowered. "How's it going? Is everything good with you? What do you want from me? I beg of you,
can understand him?
Let me leave this place. I want to leave. Please be calm. You likely find this place very strange. I can understand. I don't want to hurt you. I just want to ask you some questions about yourself. May I?" 3121-A remained silent for a while, and Dr. Curry was getting impatient. "God, this is wasting my time. Give me that. Tell that thing that it risks being punished if it doesn't cooperate. Sir, I don't think that's necessary. I mean, we're only getting started. We should exploit this fear response. It works on sapients, especially early in containment. Trust me. Your life here will be better if you answer my questions. Where do you come from? Again, it only remained silent, despite Dr. Reiterer's numerous questions.
Oh, don't hurt the guy.
After another minute of silence, it spoke. I beg you, let me go. My wife is surely worried about me. I want to return to my wife. She is surely looking for me. I want to see my wife. Let me leave. I want to see my wife. What did it say? Dr. Reiterer translated the information, and Dr. Curry nodded and smiled. Good. A point of vulnerability. We can exploit that if necessary. Keep going.
Okay, this guy is demented.
We can bring her to you. I won't tell you. You can't catch her. She's too strong. She's more clever than me. Won't get caught like I was. Just let me leave this place and go to her.
Sigma troll.
When Dr. Reiterer translated the
been watching this Sigma female TikToks a lot.
On the 23rd of May 2005, security camera footage in Zagreb, Croatia, captured evidence of SCP-3121-B's movement. A bald man walking on the street's pavement, identified as Tamas Novak, 54 years old, lost balance and fell against the wall, clutching his head with both hands. Passerby approached the man and called for an ambulance. The bald man began to shake violently and eventually stopped and dropped to the ground. One of the passerby, a woman in green shawl, suddenly jolted upright and fell onto her back as she saw a huge gash split open at the back of the man's head. Movement of a small object could be seen within the wound as the wound was getting bigger. As more people began to crowd the scene, a small figure, which later identified as 3121-B, burst from the gash and leaped to the ground. Chaos ensued as people started to scream and flee.
What the heck?
It then clambered up to the face of the woman, who was now lying on the ground. Blood quickly pooled below her as 3121-B violently
don't mess with Mama Bear.
It then entered her skull through her left eye socket. Dark fumes rose out of her head. Shortly after this, another same incident happened in Osaka, Japan, where the victims were a group of 8 adolescents. According to Dr. Curry, 3121-B cuts into the heads of humans and penetrates into their brain. Then it disappears and leaves behind a hot, cauterized hole in the brain. It then reappears in another human somewhere else on the planet and exits by cutting through the back of that person's head. It can then repeat the above process on a different individual. This anomalous means of traveling between brains is instantaneous. No distance limit or pattern in the travel of 3121-B has been observed. Analysis indicates that the human 3121-B manifest in is chosen randomly. So far, only 2 of the 48 civilians who have been host to 3121-B's ability have survived. Both suffer from extreme and permanent brain damage due to the large volume of missing tissue.
I bet.
Containing SCP-3121-B is of high importance. Its activity is frequent and unpredictable. On the off chance that it occurs on live broadcast or to a high-profile individual would be major emergency. Besides, concealing the many deaths and amnestizing witnesses is a drain on resources. The current situation represents a severe information breach. Soon enough, Foundation Task Force was able
just
to
give her back her husband.
3121-B's location in rural
somehow.
Bangladesh. It was found manifesting in the head of a woman wearing a motorcycle helmet and was unable to break through the headgear. The female victim was then admitted to a local hospital as an apparent stroke victim, where medical staff noticed scraping sounds and muffled shouts emanating from her helmet. The incident alerted the Foundation and presented an opportunity to capture the entity. MTF Spear Hunters was then dispatched, and 3121-B was captured. Unlike 3121-A, 3121-B was restrained to a chair capable of delivering electric shocks to the occupant for the interview. Devils, unspeakable deformities, both of you. Cowardly lice, worms, pathetic scums. I curse your entire race to the endless torment of 18 hells. You blood-shamed plague, hateful savages, the disgrace of the Earth's... Dr. Curry pressed a button to admit
she was going in.
3121-B. Are you done? Ever since we set foot in here, you've been cursing at us non-stop. That's what it's doing, right, Dr. Reiterer? You have to talk to us. I want to talk to you without you being hurt. It would be better for everyone. B gathered its breath and cursed again, only to be shocked again. I know
I'll
that
say
you
something
kill me
after.
in this place. I do not fear death, you murderers. You will likely not believe me, but I swear that we do not want you to die, or anyone for that matter. Do you think me a fool? How could I ever trust any of your kind? Your kind who carried out such slaughter upon my people, centuries of slaughter, as if we were crawling vermin of the mud. You disgusting rot. Have you not killed enough of us? We are nearly snuffed out, perished. My husband and I have not seen another of our kind for 200 years. Are we the last ones left? Is this what you're doing? Are you ending us once and for all? Bastard devils, evil from the dark pits of the fetid pools. And before Dr. Curry could press the button, Dr. Ryderer stopped him. Don't give another shock. This is useful. When you were traveling through people's heads, what was your aim? I don't understand your vulgar words. What are you saying? I'm sorry, I mean, what were you seeking when you went inside human's head and appeared in a different place? I was seeking my husband. You surely have him here. I can sense his presence. I can feel him. I know it. Why do you want to see him? Why? Why? How can you not understand? You truly are monsters. I have lived with
it's kind of a
loved
duh.
that man
I'm not gonna
for
lie.
800 years. We have poured our hearts into each other for 10 of your lifetimes. 10. Fleeting, candle flicker mayflies as you are, you cannot understand the depth of love that we have built together. My living is worthless without him. There is nothing I would not... Dr. Curry promptly...
Really, my guy?
Another shock. No! What are you doing? I read anger from the anomaly's behavior. She was providing useful information. The anomaly was providing information. You do not use personal pronouns when referring to objects in containment. That
Really,
is
my
basic
guy?
Protocol. Dr. Ryderer attempted to continue.
This is not the time or the place.
312-B would not stop screeching. This course of event is disappointing. I will have to rethink the approach. I don't believe 3121-B will be willing to talk to us in this session. We will have to try again a different time. Clearly. Bastard. Later that day, Dr. Curry conducted a psychological stress exercise on both 3121-A and B. He placed 3121-A into the shock chair used in the interview. 3121-B was also restrained in the same room and forced to watch as Dr. Curry applied increasingly...
What is wrong with this guy?
3121-A. Notably, this was the first time since their containment...
Like, she's no saint, but jeez.
3121-B had seen each other. 25 minutes into the exercise, 3121-B broke free of its restraints and incapacitated Dr. Curry before subjecting him to the same treatment as it did to its previous victims. After this, 3121-B used Dr. Curry's corpse to activate its travel ability and disappeared with 3121-A. They were found 2 years later in Sweden.
Okay,
No
at least they
hostile
weren't
activity has been
attacking
displayed
anybody,
by
though.
either 3121 entity since their escape together from initial containment. All observations of 3121 at their current site have shown them engaging in domestic activities, creating handicrafts and taking walks around the containment site, usually while holding hands.
Well, okay, then. I mean, I can see the Keter aspect of that, because the fact that they literally just got lucky in capturing her, whereas they could just keep jumping and killing and all that other stuff. Like, I see the Keter aspect, but it's only a Keter aspect if you mess with them, it seems like. Which the guy did, and got his just desserts, mind you. But dang, like, guy was a complete asshole. Like, no wonder that she wanted to kill you and all this stuff, and she was so angry and everything like that. And I'm guessing that this has been a thing that's been kind of happening for years, like she said. So maybe in Europe, they were able to find a way back in the day to catch them quickly. Because I'm guessing she's not the only one who can teleport in between minds like that. When there were more of them, so they had to have found a way to really break them down if there were more of them. One thing I was trying to understand was the language barrier, because there were times that she couldn't understand them and times that they could understand them. But then I was trying to figure out, like, why couldn't the guy understand him, but the girl could? The girl scientist? I guess there may be something I've missed during that entire thing. Maybe it's a part of the lore of that hasn't been explained here at some point, because I've seen sometimes that's a thing that may be happening. If anybody has any examples of that, please let me know down in the comment section below. Yeah, screw that guy. Get him out of there. And yeah, like normal Keter stuff, like is very dangerous, and I tend to be on the SCP people's side on like trying to get it out of there or whatever. That one, it's already contained for the most part, really. Like the only thing you really have to do is just put a barrier wherever they're around so that nobody else bothers them. Because as long as they don't get bothered, they're going to be just fine. Especially if they're the last ones there. Now, if they're not the last one there, that's a whole nother story. But, yeah, like, just leave them be. Keter, secure, contained, and protected. Literally. But no, yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button, like, and share, and all this stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this. And if you would do something to these people, and if so, why? Because I don't see why you would mess with the little ones when they're doing just fine. But yeah, take care, stay safe, and let's kick 2023's ass. Later.